Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode, oh
Uh,
goodness, 8?
Episode 8. We're getting there. We're making progress.
Wowza. We got a good looking episode for you guys here today. It's some more stuff going on that we'll hop into and should we just get her going here?
Dalton football season has officially started. We have the Chargers officially reporting for training camp, and the birds are singing, and we're enjoying life.
Yeah, I didn't realize until yesterday that the Hall of Fame game is actually going to be played this July, or this month here.
Yeah,
Ooh, this is a special time of year already.
yeah, yeah. Like couple weeks, like we're already there. Like the Chargers are there. They're without their second round pick, as with most teams, as only two second round picks have signed this season from this draft, and that's pretty much all due to Jalen Hyatt, as he became the first second round pick to get fully guaranteed contracts, and the rest of the second round picks want that guaranteed contract, and they're just not getting it.
That's interesting to say the least. Still, we've never even really heard of, NFL draft picks wanting all this guaranteed money and stuff like that. It's interesting how one group of players starts doing it, and all of a sudden it just becomes a chain effect. And it's super interesting for me. Growing up, second round picks were always, all right, we're second round picks, we're getting good money, let's just get the deal signed and ready to go. Well, now you're negotiating a lot more, and kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And like the Texans kind of screwed themselves too, because they also have another second round pick that they just can't sign now because they he wants guaranteed money. And someone very familiar to our Minnesota Gophers fan, the big offensive tackle Ezri, like he still hasn't signed with the Texans because he wants Jaden Higgins's guaranteed contract.
And I'll be honest, I did not know that Ariante hadn't signed yet.
It's
So,
it's so weird that no second round picks have been signed, and like you really haven't heard about it, and now it kind of matters. You want them in for training camp.
well, as we kind of head into camp here, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I know there are going to be a few QB battles throughout the league. I mean, is there any really that you're going to be looking or watching pretty closely? Like, people could say the Vikings will have one. I mean, I think we all know well that it's JJ McCourty's job to lose and stuff like that. So is there any, I mean, other QB battles throughout the league that could be up for grabs here?
I think the Browns one's going to be interesting just because it's like a four-way QB battle.
Mhm.
Obviously, the most publicized draft pick, Shedeur Sanders, is one of them. They have two rookies there. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. Like, that's just going to be an interesting one because you don't know. There's just so many options for the quarterback to be. The Colts are having one. Like, if Anthony Richardson ever stays healthy, he could potentially be in there. Otherwise, we got Danny Dimes there. Like, and it's so funny, like, teams that are struggling don't have their solidified quarterback.
Mhm.
I'm sure that's just a coincidence.
Right. Yeah, and as I look at the fall camp, for the Vikings, and I guess I haven't looked too much into position battles for it. But it seems like, I mean, everything's kind of seems like everything's settled almost going in. I mean, like I said, we know JJ is probably gonna be the guy at QB, Aaron Jones at running back. Obviously, a very loaded wide receivers room, two very good tight ends. Offensive line's gonna be very solid, especially with Christian Darrisaw coming back here off injury. And defensive line gonna be solid. I mean, Blake Cashman's due for another big year, I have a feeling. And Hitman in the secondary, and he's getting up there in age, but we love him. And so I mean, no, I mean, real surprises for position battles as far as I'm concerned. But what do you think here?
I don't know. I think they're like hopefully it's been a pretty quiet off season for the Vikings, which isn't always the worst thing either. They did good and shored up that interior offensive line. So hopefully they get a good cohesiveness going during training camp and are ready to go week one. Hopefully Darisaw is back by week one. I've heard mixed reports on that. He's someone you'd love to have in the room, like on the field practicing, and then playing that Monday Night Football game against the Bears.
You kind of said it there best. I mean, it has been a uniquely quiet offseason for the Vikings, which we'll take just because we address some needs, and I mean we haven't been going out and signing these top dollar guys, which is unique in a way, but and we still have Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones and yeah, a young JJ McCarthy here. So
Yeah, that's kind of been the staple with Kwesi is you have kind of these quieter off seasons, like signed a few bit free agents and then have them fill a role. Hopefully they turn into Andrew Van Ginkels and have really good years for you, and then you can re-sign them. But like he doesn't go for the super big fish in free agency, which probably isn't the worst thing either.
mhm. And I mean, I tend to notice, when teams that do go after, the superstars in free agency, well, they might sign them, but they're they're gonna be lacking some other piece that's gonna be crucial that uh wasn't maybe as glaring as it was now that they have that big fish in there. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's we're inching ever so closer to football season, and I'm excited for it. It's life's a lot better when you got football on.
Yeah, I would definitely agree here. I opened up an email today about uh officiating some football. It was the first email I directed towards football, and I was pumped up about it today. So it's getting to be one of the best times of the year, and leaves are starting to change a little, or they're going to be starting to change here in a few weeks, and we won't be in this 100-degree weather like we've been getting here, which is not fun at all. But it's headed towards the best time of the year. And we are head down to Dinkytown. Gophers have extended head coach PJ Fleck through what was it 2030, I believe.
Yeah, it's and the weirdest part, it's a 1 year extension. Like
Mm,
honestly, it just reading the contract is kind of an artificial extension. It's adding that 1 year, but it's also increasing his like retention bonus. So he gets like a little over $1 million for each successful season he coaches for the Gophers. So that's kind of all it was. It was just making sure PJ is still the coach at Dinkytown for many years to come. And like, yeah, he's not that big money of a coach. It's 6 million a year, but he's also 11th in the Big Ten in coach's salary. So he's all right, and it's a nice little move to show you have faith in the guy.
mm. And, I mean, I also think part of it too is the Gophers have been having this success in recruiting these last few weeks as well. So I think part of it was, just putting it out there that we're willing to extend a guy like that, and I guess show, across the country that, all right, if you have success, we're going to want you here and we're going to want to keep you here, and that starts up from the top and from the top down. So, like you said, it's not much, but it's enough, and something something to look forward to as a Gopher fan.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's the continuity is a big thing in college football, whether it be the players, the coaches. Like it's good to have that continuity. Because like when I first saw the extensions, like what the hell are we doing? Like who's going after PJ Fleck? Like
Right.
yeah, he's a good coach, but it's not like
You,
I know
you,
Alabama's not
you,
gonna hire him. I know
you hear every year after, oh, this big name school is after him. Well, really, are you really after him type of thing?
they're really after him. They would offer more than $6 million a year.
Right.
So it's yeah. I mean, he's a good Gophers coach, and
Mhm.
like he's I think he's maybe reached his peak of what he's going to be as a Gopher coach, but I don't know. He can consistently be at that 8, 9 win mark. I think Gophers fans would take it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, us, OG Gopher fans are always going to want, another 10 or 11 win season again here, which, I mean, that may happen again, it may not. But then the main thing is we're consistent. Every year it seems like we lose to a team that maybe we shouldn't lose to, but then we also beat a team that we shouldn't beat. Finding that happy medium, I guess. Hopefully we can, quit losing the teams we should
Yeah.
beat and maybe pull out. I mean, like last year, for example, I don't think many people saw us winning 8 games coming into the year, and credit to PJ, and we also lost a couple of games we shouldn't have lost that year last year as well, like the Rutgers game. But and then we lost a heartbreaker at home to Penn State too. So it was tough, and but PJ, it's a unique job at the University of Minnesota, I feel like, and I think PJ's the guy for it.
Right. I mean, he's endeared himself. Everybody loves his infectious personality. But I don't know. It's not the people of Boston aren't quite as happy as the people in Minnesota, especially now they get to point and be like at Rafi Devers. They traded him a few weeks ago, and they are pointing to the fact that Rafi Devers still has some bad habits that he can't quite that he transferred over from Boston. It was reported by Will Clark himself that Rafi Devers no-showed a few appearances for pregame first base training.
Interesting, especially, coming into a new team, I feel like new team or not, you're gonna want to show your teammates that you care and you're accountable, and especially coming, middle of the season, not being accountable and not really giving too much of a hoot. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in Rafi's defense, the series was in Boston, so I don't know. I feel like I think he didn't want to stoke any ill will because it was a constant battle between him and the new front office about where he was going to play. Well, he was going to be the third baseman. Actually, Rafi, can you DH? We signed Alex Bregman. They lose their first baseman. It's like, Rafi, can you actually play first base for us now? I'm sorry, we were kind of jerking you around and whatever. It's like, Rafi's just like, no, like, I want to play a position. Like, tell me which position I'm going to play. And like, I don't know if Will Clark organized it and Rafi didn't know, or Rafi was like, yeah, I'll be there, and then just didn't show up at all that weekend because Will Clark claims there was three instances that weekend he didn't show up, but it's just a weird. It was obviously everybody was piling on Rafi because of what happened in Boston, but we'll
Mhm.
see. Like, because he said with the Giants, like, yeah, I'll play first base if they need me to. Like Buster Posey, I'm sure it's different if they tell him what position he's gonna play, and then he's gonna play there full time.
Just a interesting dynamic to that with, they happen to be playing in Boston when things kind of went down. So, I see his reasoning behind it, but at the same time, you're new to this ball club and, you want to earn your teammates' trust and respect, and that's not the way to do it. Just me saying what I see.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like you'd watch your guy out there working hard and doing that, but I don't know. His choice. He's the one making all the money, and he's the big leaguer. We're not.
Let's move a little, I guess, I don't know if it'd be west or east, or I guess east back to central United States here, and talk about the Twins, who have started they've been starting to pick up a little bit. I had a nice week here. You and I talked about it last time that it'd be nice to maybe take in these 3-game series, take two of these games, and they've been doing that. They beat Paul Skeens last week, and in a really good pitching performance by Joe Ryan. Byron Buxton hit for the cycle last week on his own bobblehead day, not to mention. Um, uh, yeah, took the series over a really good Rays ball club last week, and hey, all of a sudden, hey, things are starting to look up a little bit.
Yeah, it's so funny. The Twins have started 0-2 and they're 2-0, excuse me, in their last three series. Still hasn't gotten a sweep. But like if you look at it, it's a good Rays team. It's a great Cubs team, and then you got Pirates with Paul Skeens, and you can win all three of those series. You're looking up because it's winning series, and that's important. And like being able to do that uptrend. And then if you look next, it's the All-Star break, and then we return to the All-Star break with the Rockies. So we got a great opportunity to stay hot.
We'll be looking good at coming into a homestand with the Nationals and Red Sox coming to town to finish out July. Series with the Rockies here, I really feel like this is kind of a must sweep series. The Rockies,
They are able to build momentum into some big series, like obviously the Dodgers in LA is obviously one you get up for and get excited for, but then they have an easier schedule going down the break, and like I think they're looking forward to that. And like they're a very streaky team, and when you have easy schedule, that bodes well for streaky teams. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the
Vez
season.
Ravine against the loaded LA Dodgers for 3 games. I mean, this is when the playoff teams start to kind of hit their stride, and through August, and you can really tell which teams are serious about making it around the postseason. So this is going to be very big. And as of late, the pitching staff has been outstanding. I just saw a stat here yesterday about pitching staff's ERA through the first few months of the season, and then in June it was up to like four something, where it was in 2 3 range first 2 months. Now we're back in the twos. So being able to get quality innings from our bullpen and our starters has been huge. Joe Ryan's been throwing it really well lately, and he deserves to be an all-star. Great to see he is one tonight. Hey, we even saw your guy Simon Woods Richardson put together a few nice games here, so things are starting to look good here.
Yeah, it's they had a really bad month of June, and everybody knows it. And it was one of the biggest outliers because it's like consistent, and then they bounce back after June. So hopefully they keep June behind them and keep bouncing back because it was a bad month, and that's just kind of and we're not. Hopefully they don't let that bad month sink their season. But you know what? Something else that we saw this week was during the Cubs series, we saw a players only broadcast. We saw a three-man booth of Trevor Plouffe, Justin Morneau, and Glenn Perkins. Pablo even joined the booth for the game on Tuesday, and I think that is very interesting and like maybe not something I want to see every game, but like fun little experiments to pull out every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like for years Dick Raymer and Bert Blyleven they ran the booth up there, and no disrespect to Corey Provus, he does a great job. I mean, he did radio for how many years? But something with Corey, he's still being relatively new to the TV game, having opportunity to have three former players up there, and really kind of, I mean, it gives fans a different view into what players are thinking during games. And so like with Glenn Perkins, I mean, he was a couple time All-Star, pitcher for the Twins. Like, what's he thinking when he's on the mound? So, and in different situations. So I think that's a really cool aspect.
Yeah, I think it helps for the Twins to have all of those players who are good broadcasters in their own right. Like Morneau is a really good broadcaster. Perkins can do a really good broadcast. And like, I think it only works because of their abilities to be good broadcasters. And I don't know. And like, you have them kind of lead it. They know what they're doing. They've experienced TV broadcasting before and like have a good point of view about it.
And something that's probably one of the coolest things I've noticed is, you know, there's sometimes where you have just fans of the sport kind of up there, especially lower level stuff. Guys will kind of ramble. Well, these guys know what they're talking about, and obviously they play in the big leagues, but they're sharing what they see and what they would do. Something really cool, something I compare to like the Manning cast with Monday Night Football, which I mean that's also partially comedy too, but
No, exactly. And Dalton, was that a shot at me when you say some announcers ramble?
no, not at all.
No, I think no, they did a really good job, and like I think it helps to like have experienced TV people doing it too. And it's like you see weird stuff. Fortunately, this wasn't a players during the players only broadcast, but we saw a challenge because the Pirates were challenging whether or not the ball got lodged underneath the wall. Yeah, it was weird because the Pirates guy could easily pick it up. Like, so they awarded Willie Castro another base because they said the ball got lodged under the wall, but the Pirate Willie won. Willie didn't run to second base. So he basically got a free 90 feet. And two, the Pirates guy just had to fumble with it a little bit, but it's not like it was extreme enough where Willie could run to second. And it's just weird that that was a call that made, and you don't see that all that often, if ever.
Mm. Yeah, I oftentimes wonder, how some of those players react to that situation too. So that was probably a good thing for those guys because, different players react differently on the field. If I was a first baseman, I mean, I'd be yelling at my guy. And if you're an outfielder, you're probably, I don't know, type of thing. So,
Right. It was weird, but shout out to the umpire. He like explained the whole situation. One of the one of the benefits of having them mic'd up and like being able to use that mic during the game is they can explain situations because like you don't know what's going on as a fan. Like and like he almost got in a hot mic. He like said something, could hear it and turned it off before he started to talking with Don Kelly about it. But yeah, it was just you don't see that, and we Twins got an extra 90 feet, so I'm not going to complain.
yeah, I'm also a big fan of mic'd up
Oh,
stuff as well, just because there's so much stuff that goes on during a baseball game between players and umpires that most people don't even know. And until you put the mics on them, where you know, batters are talking to the umpires between pitches, like, "Oh, come on, Phil, where was that one?"
yeah.
which I think that's the coolest thing in the world because I don't know if anyone out there has listened to Matt Antonelli on YouTube. He he has a lot of stuff about that and kind of life in the big leagues. And for him, most people don't even realize that batters are t talking to umpires in the middle of the game in between pitches, and they're saying, "Oh, come on, Phil, that was a terrible call. Are you kidding me? That better be as far as you're going out tonight, there, Bob." Something that not a lot of fans realize that I find really cool.
Yeah, it's the key to arguing with umpires. Don't look at them. You can say whatever you
Mhm.
want as long as you're not looking at
Don't
them.
don't show them up. That's what Antonelli always said on there is, don't make it seem like you're showing them up, otherwise you're for sure getting tossed.
You know what, Dalton? We saw a exhilarating home run derby won by the big dumper and someone you predicted to win it, Cal Raleigh. And he almost didn't make it out of the first round. He was about an inch short of not advancing out of the first round.
Yeah, I have my own opinion on MLB. That was the dumbest ruling. Even though, he was my pick to win it. Single dumbest ruling in MLB home run derby history. It was a great home run derby, don't get me wrong. And, I'm glad he was able to put on a show, but all of a sudden coming out with, oh yeah, he hit it 1 foot further than, or 1 inch further than, you can't tell that. I think everybody wanted to swing off.
Yeah, I mean that would have been cool. I even think like a coin toss would have been electric.
Right. Or have him go up there and do rock, paper, scissors. I don't care.
Do something better than that. And like they ended up doing it where it's like they just kept revealing more decimal points that they had. Eventually they were up to like 10 decimal points in a foot and like yeah, no, that's way too many. Like you can like they just like we see how precise we are tracking this. Like he totally hit it farther and like everybody loves the big dumper and like nah, I think it like something like we could all see would have been sick. Like whether it be the swing off, rock paper scissors or whatever. It's a fun event. Like let it be fun and like fortunately he won, so everybody gets to talk about it now.
Right. It also very interesting that his brother was the catcher and his dad was throwing to him.
Yeah, it was a whole family affair. Cal even hit from both sides of the plate. He only did that for half the first round, so I don't know if he just liked the ballpark better from when he was hitting on the left side, or
Right.
if his
Well,
dad
yeah.
liked pitching him better on the left side. Whatever it was, I think he did well.
Yeah. That's what they were kind of saying on the broadcast was, with the shorter porch in right field there, and it also hit into a higher wall too, but very interesting. But, no disrespect to the broadcasting crew, but we need a Boomer back.
Yeah, I mean the home run derby is just different without Boomer, and like
Yeah. We need a little back, 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 back. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's too hard for them too because it's like the weird like the one thing with time, like one, you don't get to admire the home runs as
Mhm.
much and like you force the pitchers, you force the batters to like work in a constant stream. It's like you also don't give the announcers time to like call it. They're just constantly have to call all of these baseball shots and like the exact opposite of what baseball actually is, where it's like pitch, delay, pitch,
Right.
delay, like it's just weird and like gotta imagine that's a big adjustment for them. Like I don't know, like the camera crew struggled at times there.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I also feel like when it's just that going back to like the old school with just like was it 10 outs and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and you saw a lot more moonshots back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw a lot more guys really hitting, 500-foot shots that, I mean, you could say, oh yeah, it took forever though. Well, we're not coming here to see, 10 400-foot home runs that scrape over the wall. We're coming here to see five moonshots, okay? Five balls that go over 450 feet.
I don't know.
So,
I think they did the best of both worlds where the bonus round was outs were
yeah.
timed rounds.
Yeah, yeah, then listening to Cal Raleigh last night too is, with his brother catching, you could hear his brother back there. Oh, good take. He's hyping him up. Oh, let's go. That's a nuke. And
Oh, I loved
I
him.
mean,
He was his brother was framing pitches back there.
uh, that's so brother-like though that you're almost more invested than your brother's actually competing. I mean, I've experienced that as my brother's playing sports. I know, you know, they lose something and I'm the one crying after because I got so invested. And they're like, nothing I gotta do. No, there is though.
The All-Star weekend. It's fun and like you got your family there. It's like all having a good time. Another person there, Jacob Mizorowski, after 5 whole games in the major leagues, and that was quite an uproar.
Very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I didn't really know who he was, to be completely honest. And I started reading on it here, and oh, okay,
The Phillies were pissed. They They were pissed. They didn't get their guy in. Jacob Mizorowski ended up going in instead. Like Nick Castellanos called the All-Star game the Savannah Bananas. And like, yeah, 5 games maybe is too early, but also like he's electric and he's a phenom and people love him. And like, I don't know, he is a really good pitcher. Like if he had 10 starts, I don't think anybody would bat an eye.
right.
Like we seen him against the Twins, like he threw 6 perfect innings against the Twins. Like he is
hmm
a really good pitcher. It's just probably a little too early to name him an all-star, which whatever, all-stars don't mean anything.
hmm But and this is also promising for the MLB though. You have him and Paul Skeens, two very young pitchers coming up right now that are dominating.
Right, exactly. And he broke Paul's record last year of 11 for an all-star starter, like an all-star pitcher. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know, Dalton, do you think there is a magic number where it's like, all right, yeah, they can be an all-star pitcher now?
I mean, I see it both ways type of thing. I don't think there is, but there very well could be type of thing. But at the same time, you're going out there and you're dominating, like kind of hard not to say, hey, you're not an all-star.
Right. Like he's putting up all-star numbers right now. Like it's good for him. He just maybe has to do it in a larger sample size. Like I don't know. I would have liked to seen him have 10 and then we can
Mhm.
talk all-star games, but I don't know. He's gonna maybe pitch an inning like in a fun game that has no implications. Like it's all fun. Like the Phillies paid their guy their bonus anyway, so no harm, no foul.
Right.
But you know what? We'll see him. We'll see the ABS system in the All-Star game, and I'm assuming next year we're going to see it in actual games. I actually like it as someone who's been to a game with the ABS. It's provided me with a lot of. It's nice. It's like you barely noticed it was there.
I mean, I guess that's one my worry is you're gonna notice it's there too much. Um, because I feel like that kind of takes away, the catcher, their ability to frame pitches and stuff like that. But
I think I like the challenge system with it. Like, I don't want I still want the umpire calling games, like, because you got to force your guys to challenge it and make those calls. And if they're out of challenges, it's still very much a big art. I remember Matt Shaw this year when he was still at the Iowa Cubs. He gets rung up on strike three, challenges it, gets the call overturned, so he gets another pitch. Next pitch, in the zone again, challenges it again, actually is rung up. So I got to see a guy take 2 strike threes in the same at bat. Like he was pissed after that second challenge. But he's at Chicago now. It's one of the benefits of minor league baseball. It's just you get to see fun stuff like that.
yeah, and yeah, I'm sure it's something that you probably enjoy down living down in Des Moines is getting to go to those Iowa Cubs games and seeing other top prospects and something that I haven't really experienced. So
Well, you could tell Rob Manfred wants to get this in the game, and I think it's good to get that in the game because it's if we can track to the tenth of a foot to not the tenth of the foot to like 10 decimals of the foot of where a home run ball went, I think we could track the strike zone a little bit and like let's get the calls right. We don't need umpires ruining games. And like I could see umpires wanting it too because they don't need people going after them. Like there's still the gamesmanship of it because like
mhm.
you don't want to mess up the challenges for your teammates either. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds with that challenge system. Like we don't need like egregious strike calls either. So I think it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, like I like how the MLB is starting to implement it too. Is they started out with lower levels of minor leagues, and it's slowly making its way up to a minor league system until they're almost going to foolproof. Where you look at like the college football and NFL, where it's all of a sudden, oh no, this is now implemented this year, and if you get called for targeting, you're ejected. Like I remember when that first came out, and was it fall of 2015? Was it? or before then, and it was like, oh wow, you could tell that was accidental, but
Mhm.
it looked bad. So you're gonna throw him out for the rest of this game and the first half of the next game. Wow. So like there was no real, I guess, uh, trial run for that, like the MLB's doing, and which I really like what they're doing here with getting it perfected, and that's only going to help the umpires that are coming up through the minor leagues as well. And it's going to help the players and umpires. They're going to be more used to it, and you know, they're going to be able to, they're going to eventually be able to use it to their advantage. And I mean, they might struggle with it at times, but that's just the beauty of baseball.
Yeah, and we saw it with spring training this year. They got a little taste of it, and like the targeting thing. The funniest part was that like, yeah, you're ejected. Plus, you got to watch from the locker room too. Like, you can't
Right,
come back out. Like, I've tweaked those rules ever so slightly since that time. So, and like, yeah, I think this is a good addition to baseball. We saw it with the pitch clock. Something similar happened. Similar process with that, and like, I you don't even notice unless a pitch clock violation is called that there is a pitch clock.
right. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Manfred, to be completely honest, but the way the MLB is introducing these new rules and working them through the minor leagues, they're really kind of setting the blueprint for how to do that.
Right, exactly. But Dalton, I think it's time for a little local legend.
The next one going to Josh Dykoff, the Wadena, Minnesota native. Yeah, last couple years of been playing up at University of Minnesota Crookston, graduated our class. Ended up transferring to the University of Kansas here. I mean, he's been hitting the cover off the ball for the Rocks, the Northwoods League with St. Cloud lately, and making the jump from NSIC ball to the Big 12. So this is gonna be big. I actually played against Josh a lot growing up. I had one tell us that we were probably the two best freshmen he's seen that play that year, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm better than this kid. Well, this kid was a lot turned out to be a lot better than me, and a super nice kid, super nice family. His brother, currently pitches for Fargo Moorhead as well. Jake, his another brother that's an absolute stud as well. Justin, he struck me out a few times. For me, it's been really cool to see him. He was always kind of that shorter, pudgy kid, and he went through puberty and all that, and turned out to be a really, really good ball player. And the Jayhawks are getting a good one.
Yeah, for sure. And like Northwoods League isn't easy to rake in. Like,
No, there is
those-
a lot of very good players in there.
yeah, for sure. And like you've seen quite a few top 10 picks. Pete Alonso, Max Scherzer, Brooks Lee, Hunter Dozier.
Justin Verlander.
Just yeah, like they've all played through the Northwoods League and like dang good to be able to rake there. And like it's one thing to do it at Crookston, but it's also another thing to do it at the Northwoods League.
hmm
Yeah,
As far as top summer baseball leagues in the country for college kids, I think the Cape Cod kind of gets a lot of attention there. Well, Northwoods League's not far behind. Like, I mean, they get a lot. I mean, there's definitely a few more, D2 and D3 players in there, but those players are very good players that are now with the transfer portal are probably transferring to Division One schools. So those are a lot of very good players in there, and
yeah.
something really cool to see.
Yeah, the league's just exploded the last probably 10 years. Like the league is exploding. Like they're a lot over Michigan now. Like they got three teams in North Dakota, like bunch over Wisconsin,
Mhm.
Illinois, in that region, like exploding. It's good to see like a lot of talent being able to play in summer ball and like for these towns that care a lot about baseball.
St. Cloud's kind of one of the OG teams for that league as well. They started out as the River Bats how many years ago? Now they're the Rocks, but that league started out pretty much as St. Cloud, Thunder Bay, Duluth, Mankato, and maybe a few teams in Wisconsin.
Rochester.
Yeah, Rochester, and the way it's exploded is they got them in Lacrosse, Waterloo, like you said, three out in North Dakota now. So that's really cool to see, and I mean the atmospheres at those games are actually pretty good too. It's not like some amateur baseball games where there's 12 people here and there's those 12 people happen to be related.
Right. Exactly.
You
But
know,
like I think they also got the minor league. We're gonna give some pretty sick names out. Like not my personal favorite, the Hot Tots.
yes,
Pretty good
for me, they are a little closer to Winona, I guess, and but the lacrosse loggers or the Thunder Bay Border Cats.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good names out there.
You look at it, it's like, oh, Wilmer Stinger is actually kind of generic compared to some other teams in that. The
Bravo.
Mankato Moondogs, and yeah, the atmosphere is cool at those games too, with all the stuff they do in between innings and getting the fans involved, and
Two people who have done that. I'm just
yeah,
when Dean Dalton did it, I ended up being victorious, but
you
I'm
know,
not one to brag about it.
I have a feeling I got hosed there. I was kidding. You look at the teams, Eau Claire's in there, Battle Creek Battle Jacks. That's kind of a cool name. You got the Spiders, the Green Bay Rockers. Well, and I can't remember how many years ago it was now either. They did the home run derby for that league on Lake Michigan. I don't know if you remember that.
No, that is sick though to like have Lake Michigan in the background.
Yeah, and they actually added a new team this year as well, a team in Indiana. So they're expanding, and
Yeah.
it's Richmond, Indiana, which
Yeah.
I believe. Don't they have a minor league team, or is that Richmond, Virginia?
I'm I know the Richmond Flying Squirrels, I believe, are in Virginia, and it's the weird
Okay.
thing. You want to know who their major league affiliate is?
Who?
The Giants in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah. Like I
Huh.
think they're the farthest from their major league affiliate. Like
I would believe that. Yeah, then something to look at too is these players don't get paid either. They're literally living with host families, and I know a guy who was a host that he was a host for some of the players for Mankato and the Moondogs back in the OG days, and
yeah,
he was like, he said he always tried to be the best he could with, getting them meals and everything.
yeah,
And he hears other stories of host families. It's like, oh, yeah, they pretty much just let me live there. Where he was like, no, I want you guys to use my car, and
pretty
it's
much playing games every day too. So it,
almost like minor league baseball in a way.
yeah, pretty much.
The minor leaguers aren't getting paid much, but well, that's all we got today.
That is our action filled episode for today.
We appreciate you guys tuning in, and well, next week, I'm not sure what we got going on next week here, because we might have to do a little live episode from St. Louis next week, huh?
Yeah, for sure. We got a few fun things going on.
Mhm.
More teams are going to be reporting to training camp, and I think we got more exciting activities coming up here in the next week and beyond.
Yeah, if you guys haven't yet checked out our trivia episode, we had a blast filming that.
Yeah, no, that was
It
a lot
really
of
touched
fun.
our knowledge.
Right. No, that was really fun. Like Luke was a
And
gracious host. He had some
I'm hoping,
wonderful categories for us.
yeah. And looking, I keep thinking about like, how did I come up with Terry Steinbach
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Also,
win?
yeah. Also, another gripe I wanted to bring up: the first like three or four names you mentioned in South Dakota State had like zero games played in the NFL. Your first name didn't play in the NFL. You got
Who
lucky.
was it?
Yeah, yeah. Never played in the NFL. Yeah, Winkleman never played in the NFL.
No, he got drafted.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, you saved yourself from saying Mark Gronowski.
I did say.
Yeah, we you caught yourself though. You knew he went to Iowa after he said it.
I keep forgetting about that. The beauty of college football and transfer portal now.
Right, exactly.
Well, anyways, if you guys haven't checked out that episode, we just gave you a little preview to it. So go check that out, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.